We're supposed to go out to dinner. Couldn't go out to dinner. It was terrible.
Almost there.
You have to have five. You got five.
Very cool.
No.
It being 9:30, I'd like to welcome the throngs that have come to our planning board meeting of rescheduled November 10th to now Thursday, November 17th at 9:30 a.m. Welcome. Would everybody, all of you out there, please silence your cell phones. Ms. Thompson, please call the roll.
Member Demas,
Present.
Member Powell,
Present.
Member Adwar, Member Chinovsky,
Present.
Member Brown is not here. Vice Chair Mendelson is not here. Chairperson Goldenberg,
Present.
Town Attorney Rubin, and Town Planner Allen is here.
Could we all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. A call for approval of the agenda. Is there a motion to approve and accept the agenda as presented?
I make that motion.
And a second?
Second.
All in favor, say.
Aye.
All right, swearing in of the public. For those giving testimony, please stand, raise your right hand, be sworn in by Ms. Thompson. To provide testimony for the application you are affiliated with. Also, for those providing testimony via Zoom, after being sworn in, you'll be placed in a virtual waiting room, if there are any, until the application you are affiliated with is heard. Ms. Thompson, please swear in those giving testimony.
By the authority vested in me as a notary of the state of Florida, do you affirm that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you.
All right, is there any public comments? And they will be limited to 5 minutes if they are, if it's effective for this agenda only. Young man?
For you previously.
Hi, my name is Tim Rotolo. Ocean Boulevard, came before you previously to address your colleague, Mr. Chudnovsky's position on the board that I believe you brought him on earlier this year. I didn't get into many specifics at the time. I referred you to the town commission meeting that was following.
Excuse me, sir, but I believe the public comments are related to our agenda. And that has not related to our agenda. I'm going to ask you.
I don't believe Mr. Chudnovsky is fit to.
I'm going to ask you to step away from the mic because it has nothing to do with the agenda.
I don't believe he's fit to serve on this board.
Excuse me. Could we turn that mic off? Thank you for your comments. I do have a comment, though. I want to mention Harry Adwar. We want to thank Harry, at least I do, and my wife and a number of people. Thank him in behalf of us, for the work he's done for this town. Number one. And number two, I have been out recently on our waterways. On our waterways. And I want to thank him and acknowledge his efforts in helping to form our Marine Police Enforcement Agency. And it seems to be working. For the safety and speed reduction in this community. I want to thank you and acknowledge your efforts.
Thank you.
All right. Now, can we move on to approval of the minutes? Is there any corrections to the minutes for October 13th, 2022? Hearing none, I make a motion to approve the minutes.
I second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Is there any unfinished business? Hearing none, let's move on to the new business. A development application number 22-0007. Darian Dunlay, is that how it's pronounced? Okay, application by Darian Dunlay Cedar Builders for a site plan approval pursuant to section 30-82 of the town code to install a dune walkover for a property located at 2635 South Ocean Boulevard. Does any member of this board have any ex parte communications to disclose? Hearing none, let's move on to the public hearing. And of course, may we have Ms. Allen, I believe.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Edward Allen for the record, town planner. If we could kindly bring up the PowerPoint, we'll start off with the aerial of the subject property. These aerials are, of course, in your packets. There we go. Oh, okay. Go to that first aerial. Janelle, thank you. Okay, so here's the aerial of the subject property outlined in red. We can go to the next one. Here you have the subject property looking westward. You could see that the dune walkover is already installed. And we can go to the next aerial or photograph, actually. This is a photograph. You could see it much better of the dune walkover. This was actually taken by our code enforcement officer back on November 23rd of 2021. So this actual request is for an after the fact site plan approval. Again, the dune walkover was already constructed. You could see that the property currently has a single family residence there. I did reference in your staff report that there was a code violation back in 2021. I provided the case number also in your staff report. The violation was for removal of dune vegetation to allow for a walkway without a permit. Now, according to the zoning code, which is chapter 30, dune walkovers require site plan approval by the planning board. I think this is the first one that we've had since I've started, so it's been almost 3 years. The applicant did receive Department of Environmental Protection approval. Any structure that's east of the coastal construction control line needs to get approval from FDEP. I've gone ahead and referenced that approval from FDEP in your staff report. The applicant did indicate that while they did get the FDEP approval, they didn't know that they needed approval by the planning board nor a town building permit. Let's go ahead and take a look at the plan. So here's the site plan. I know it's a little bit hard to see. Again, these are, of course, in your packet. I've gone ahead and put just a little red square here, a little highlighted in red. This is the proposed, well, the dune walkover. And then the square right here is the actual dune walkover. And then here you have the applicant provided a detail. Oh, I'm sorry. Can you go to the next one, Janelle? There you have the detail of the dune walkover. If the planning board does agree to approve this, the applicant will have to then go for an after the fact building permit. So staff is recommending approval. The request is consistent with the dune walkover regulations that are in chapter 30. The plans are date stamped October 18, 2022. I'll be glad to address any questions you may have. And the authorized agent is here as well.
Does any member of the board have any questions for Ingrid?
Eric, I have one question.
Recognize you.
The walkover is supposed to be 10 feet away from all vegetation. Is that correct?
That's not in our code. I'm just curious where you heard 10 feet.
In past experience,
really?
I always thought it had to be anywhere between 8 to 10 feet away from any vegetarian. And I know they're very sensitive here on the
Yeah.
beach right now.
Well, that's not in the town code. That may be a regulation from FDP, but as you can see, FDP approved it. So I'm not familiar with FDP code, but I guess the most important is that they did get the approval. So,
All right, thank you.
yeah.
Thank you.
Any other board members?
I'm just, are you the gentleman that put it in? Yeah, if you don't mind. Yeah.
Well, maybe the applicant wants to make a presentation or just answer questions.
Just
Fine.
answer questions.
Okay.
No, I'm not the person who put it in. I know the owner from years past. And he achieved or he applied for a DEP permit and was given the DEP permit. Didn't realize he had to go through the town. He installed it. And then he got code enforcement on him. And because the property is not in his name, it's in a corporate name, he needed a GC to apply for a building permit.
And you're
That's where I'm
that's where you
helping-
come into play.
Yes, I'm helping bail him out.
After the fact, okay, all right, thank you for that. Eileen, would the, yeah, Ingrid, sorry.
That's okay.
Would a homeowner be fined in a situation like this?
Well, again, there was a code enforcement case. I believe you went to the code enforcement board. Oh, okay. So
I think he was fine, but
you'll have to come to the,
because of COVID and getting all the plans together, it's been a while. So I don't know where the fine stands but I know, I believe they kept extending the time that it had to be completed. But I do know that he had to go in front of
yeah, they
some
did
other
go,
board.
yeah, they did go before the code enforcement board. I don't recall if they had a fine. I didn't really look into the
Okay.
detail too much. But yeah, when there's a code enforcement case, you go before the code enforcement. board.
Right,
Yeah.
understood.
Any other questions?
Just wondering, so it was constructed roughly a year ago and it's been used ever since. Part of the remedy is not to deconstruct it and reconstruct it, it was built correct.
Yes.
Just to add to that, yes, we have an engineering, a CAP government is our outsourced engineering review. So it was reviewed by them and they did sign off on it.
All right, at this time, the public hearing is closed. Is there a motion to approve or deny?
It's done.
All right,
Second.
all right. And everybody in favor?
Aye.
All right,
That'll have to be a roll call.
Well, generally we roll call the votes.
Oh,
all right, then let's call
I'm sorry, who was the second?
Brian.
was I the second?
Yeah,
You were the same.
Okay,
All right.
thank you.
Too quick.
Member Adwar? Yes. Member Demas?
Yes.
Member Powell?
Yes.
Member Chudnovsky?
Yes.
And Chairperson Goldenberg.
yes, so approved.
Motion carries.
All right, I believe next is announcements. But before the announcements, it's the season of Thanksgiving. And I want to thank the staff for the help they've been giving this planning board and Ingrid's staff for making it very easy for all of us to understand exactly what's going on. And again, thank you all and the spirit of congeniality that this board has shown for each other. So let's move on for announcements. December 6th is the town commission meeting. December 7th is the special meetings, and would you like to take that, Ms. Sarah?
Yes, I did want to advise the board, as you all know, the public input meetings regarding accessory marine facilities, we had to cancel the November 9th and November 10th meeting as a result of Hurricane Nicole. So I do have new dates. You will be receiving a postcard. I believe you probably received something like this. We will have new postcards that will be coming out. They will say new dates on the top. So the new dates will be December 5th and December 13th. Obviously, December 7th was already scheduled. We'll be moving forward with December 7th. So I'll repeat those 3 dates again. December 5th, December 7th, December 13th, Town Library, same place, same time, 6 p.m.
Yes, on the email, it does not state the time, so maybe
On
it'll.
the email, the email blast? Okay,
Yes.
I'll let Ms.
Remind-
Cuevas know that. Yes, we have updated the information on the town website. There'll be email blasts going out. And as I mentioned, there'll be a newly revised postcard that will be sent out to all residents.
And all this board has been advised as to what they can do and what they can't do for the sunshine law. Okay?
Yep.
December 8th is the next planning board meeting. And December 13th is the code enforcement meeting. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I make that motion.
Second,
Second.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
At 9:44, the planning board meeting is ended.
My apology, but I didn't mean that.
Excellent.
15 minutes, is that right?